So it was definitely one of the most expensive things that I have really spent money on in terms of like any sort of extravagances. I mean, this is by far it. My name is Stephan. I'm 29 years old. I make $1.6 million per year and I live in Los Angeles, California. And welcome to, wait for it, Millennial Money. So I'm a full-time real estate agent, real estate investor, and YouTuber. A lot of people have always asked me what type of watch I have, and this has a really cool story behind it. It's a 1969 Zenith El Primero A386. This is the original self-winding chronograph that really changed watches, and this was the first of its kind when it came out. So what's really cool about this is that my grandpa got this as a parting gift because he was doing some work with Zenith, and they gave him this watch, and he never really wore it. He put it in a drawer, and it just sat there for like 40 years. And then when he passed away, the watch was accidentally going to be thrown out with a whole bunch of junk because he had never worn it, it wasn't working anymore. And I ended up going by the house one day as my family was cleaning it out and just happening to see this watch, thinking it looked really cool. So I put it on and I thought like, you know, I'm just gonna go to get it fixed up. Little did I know what it was. And once I started doing research on it, I realized like, wow, this has a lot of history behind it. It's a really rare watch. And now I wear it pretty much on the days where I feel like I need good luck, which is most days. It feels like anytime I wear it, I feel like, you know, my grandpa is kind of with me in a weird way. So one day I Googled the watch just to see what they're selling for on auction, and it turned out that they were offering a 50th anniversary edition of this exact same watch, and they were only selling 50 of them. And I had found out about it right after it was announced, so I called up Westtime to see if they had any allocation. Turned out they had one watch available, so immediately I put down a deposit on the 50th anniversary edition of this watch, and I got this one. And sure enough, it was sold out within like 48 hours of it being announced, and I got one of them, which I consider to be really cool because I feel like my grandpa had this one, and now is my chance to get the 50th anniversary watch, and I'm hoping one day like maybe my grandkid could get the 100th anniversary watch, and then it just becomes a collection of Zenith El Primero watches. So the 50th anniversary watch was retailing for $19,700, but I felt also it might be a collector piece one day and could go up in value, as a lot of watches do. So this is part investment, but I really bought this just because it was very sentimental. So it was definitely one of the most expensive things that I have really spent money on in terms of like any sort of extravagances. I mean, this is by far it, but the thing with watches is that a lot of them can make great investments, and most of them end up keeping their value. So the worst case scenario, it's like instead of keeping $20,000 in a savings account, you can go and keep $20,000 in a watch. And in the event you ever needed the money, you could sell it and recoup your money back if it hasn't gone up in value already. So I do have quite a few credit cards. I'm probably at this point at about 12 or 13 total between personal and business credit cards. So in my wallet, I got 3 credit cards. This is the one that everyone wants to see though. It is known as the JP Morgan Reserve card. The former name of this card used to be the Palladium card. And the cool story, in order to get this card, you have to be a member of JP Morgan Private Banking, and in order to do that, you need $10 million in investable assets. Now, I do not have $10 million, but I was able to get in the JP Morgan Private Bank, and because of that, I was able to get this credit card. So this is the one that everyone has seen on the YouTube channel that got like 2 million something views unboxing the $10 million credit card. That was this card right here. So everyone always wants to see it. They always want to feel how heavy it is, and it's just a fun story behind it. I never actually spend money on it. It's like very rarely, but it's just cool to have. So the annual fee of this card is $450 a year. It has pretty much the same benefits as the Chase Sapphire Reserve, except this one you get United Club Lounge access. This one does not. So it really gives the same things, except this one has a few more perks, and the customer service of this card is just slightly better. And then to top it off is the American Express Platinum. I signed up for this card before I had a big remodeling budget, so that way I could put all the money in the card and get the sign-up bonus. I also get a lot of referral points from this card by just placing a referral link in one of the videos anytime I talk about it. So this is an amazing card. It gets you a lot of benefits. I definitely get the value from it, and would highly recommend it for anyone that is really going to spend a lot of money and utilize the travel aspect of it.